Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Asad Yaqub and I am from Lahore, Pakistan, and I teach Ielts here. Once again, I welcome you guys to my Ielts speaking video. Actually, guys, I have four pies or four things or four baskets, and I have to do justice with each basket, and these baskets are reading, writing, listening and speaking. So when I make videos on reading, you ask me to make videos on listening. When I make videos on listening, you ask me to make videos on writing. When I make videos on writing, you ask me to make videos on speaking. So now I'm making videos on speaking. Anyways, let's take a start. I'm just going to give you some general tips about IELTS speaking, and I'm going to tell you how to ace this test, how to get good bench score, what are the myths, what are the reality, what type of skills are assessed or checked in IELTS speaking test. So the general tips for IELTS speaking, you should understand one thing: you can always get a good bench score in IELTS speaking if you are confident and creative. Creative means you have to create the answers. So if you are confident, if you are creative, you can always get good bench score in IELTS. It does not mean that people who are not creative, they are going to fail in IELTS test. They will not fail at all. They are going to pass it as well. But creative means you come up with new ideas, you answer the question, you handle the question and all that. The test is predictable. IELTS speaking test is always predictable. I can tell you what sort of questions they are going to ask you and how you have to answer these questions. So this test is predictable. That's why you can prepare well. Listening is not predictable. Writing, speaking, no. That reading is also not predictable. You don't know about the passages, and in listening you don't know about the audios. Questions are predictable, but the passages are not predictable. There are some tips which you can use. And by the way, now I'm going to tell you what are they looking for. The examiners, what do they look for whenever they assess you? So if you know what is important to IELTS examiners, it improves your chances of success definitely. So these are few hints, or these are few things the examiners always look for whenever they check your IELTS speaking test. These guidelines refer to every part of speaking test, so stick to them and you will satisfy your examiner. The main thing is examiner's satisfaction. If examiner is satisfied, definitely you'll be getting good bench score. Now, in order to satisfy the examiner, there are some points which I'm going to tell you. The first thing is speak without long pauses. That's important. When you are trying to think of something to say, like say, and all that stuff. So you need to speak without long pauses. That's what the examiners see. Now, I had a student who used to say "and" after every sentence. I want to go there, and it is a beautiful place, and a lot of people go there, and it is worth watching place, and there are many restaurants there, and this is there, and. So it means he is not actually speaking fluently. So it's important to speak without long pauses. These pauses can be in the form of repetition of one word, or these pauses can be in the form of and all that stuff. So this is what you got to avoid. Next, understand what the examiner asks you and confirm that by answering accordingly. This is very important. Whatever the question is, your answer must be according to the question. Let me tell you, you always get low bands if the questions are different and your answers are different. Or if you try to give them a prepared answer, that really decreases your band score. That's why it's a good idea to listen to the question carefully, and while listening to the question, you must look at the face of the examiner, you must look at the lips of the examiner, so that you could better understand, and you can even read the facial expressions of the examiner and answer the question according to the question. Your answer must be pertaining to the question exactly. That is why I recommend give a direct answer, and then you can explain the things further. After that, the next thing is understand what the examiner asks you and confirm that by answering. Next, demonstrate how many smart words you know. That's important. Now, when I say smart words are good vocabulary words. Now, smart words are not flowery words. Smart words are not difficult words. Smart words are not the words that are very, very long words and all that. Smart words can be some idiomatic expressions. some vocabulary words which are appropriate according to the question. If they ask you about your favorite leisure activity, so the smart words are the words which are relevant with the leisure activity or free time activity. If they talk to you about your hometown, the smart words are the good words which are related to your hometown. So you should use some smart words, and again I tell you, smart words can be good nouns, good verbs, good idiomatic expressions, good phrasal verbs, right? Good structures of the language, that can be the smart word. So that's the third thing. Next, use all the tenses when you speak, past, present, future, and use them correctly. Now, you need to see whenever examiner asks you a question, you need to see, is that question in present, past, or future? Do I need to answer this question in only present tense, or only in past tense, or only in future tense? And by the way, you can easily understand that from the question. There are the helping verbs. If examiner is saying did, it means it's the past tense. If examiner says do, are you, it means it's a present tense. If they say will you, would you, it means that is the future tense. So you need to see, whether examiner is asking, and sometimes for some questions where there is the comparison, you have to answer in present and past. You got to compare present with past, present with future, and if it is speaking part 3 prediction, you must answer in the future, right? So this is how you actually need to answer. Next, pronounce the words correctly. For example, the word like culture should sound like culture, not culture or something like that, okay? So you should pronounce the words clearly. As I told you before in my videos, there is no marking criteria for accent, but there is a marking criteria for pronunciation. So that's why try to pronounce the words in a proper way, like you can say culture, culture, pronunciation, or anything like that. And then don't be artificial, by the way. Don't be artificial. Whatever your natural style is, yes, if you're in your natural style there isn't proper proper pronunciation, then you have to focus your pronunciation. That's what the examiner sees in your speaking. And the next one important thing is this: accent has nothing to do with pronunciation, so it will not affect your score. Right? That's what I told you. Once again, I give you a repetition, I give you a revision of what we've done. In order to satisfy the examiner to get good bands in speaking, you have to speak without long pauses, understand what the examiner asks you and confirm that by answering accordingly, demonstrate how many smart words you know, use all the tenses when you speak, past, present, future, and use them correctly and according to the question, and then pronounce the words correctly. For example, the word culture should sound like culture. Important thing, accent has nothing to do with pronunciation, so it will not affect your score. That's all, guys. Thank you very much. If you like this video, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe my channel. This is Ielts speaking video. You must comment this video and tell me what else you want to learn from me. I also teach Ielts online. If you want to join my online Ielts classes, you can contact me for that. My WhatsApp number is given. Asad Yaqub wishes you all the best. Take care. Allah Hafiz.